Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is my channel, and I'm going to talk about being honest with myself. There's something in this glass. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. I am going to have a Bud Light Seltzer Cocktail Hour Watermelon Mojito, and we're going to talk about being honest with ourselves. It's important to be honest with oneself, because if you're not being honest with yourself, you're not going to be honest with other people. By the way, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a ton of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so good as to comment, like, and subscribe, you're doing your part for a better world. Now, I had a minor situation come up. See, I have 6 blogs, and I have 6 YouTube channels. And I think at the moment, 3 of my YouTube channels would be considered dead, and 2 of my blogs would be considered dead. Haven't posted on them in quite some time. So I have a quota for how many blog posts and how many YouTube videos I'm supposed to produce per week. And I'm way behind. I mean, to keep track of it, I have a file folder on my computer. And every time I create a video or a blog post, a file goes into that folder, and then I check the number of files to see where I'm at. Well, I'm like 3-4 months behind at the moment. But, you know, what I do is every time I create a new folder, I have the date I should have reached that goal, the quota number, how many files should be in it, which for this one was 116, I believe. And then I have the date I actually created the folder. Now, I injured my rotator cuff here, so it was hard for me to do anything. I mean, I can feel the pain right now as I'm standing up to make this video, and, you know, it was hard for me to stand up, or to sit up to type. I kept going back to bed. So, I've had a really bad week. And this particular folder stayed open a lot longer than it should have, till finally I closed it. And I said, well, you know, if I close it now, I'm going to already be really bad for the next folder, because I've only got like 4 or 5 files for the day. And I mean, close it now, and this is the day. So if I close it after midnight, then it's tomorrow. And it was like 10 o'clock when this happened, so I had 2 hours till midnight. And in reality, what does that difference does that even make? It's like, whenever I close this folder, I look at whatever date I started it and be like, okay, did I close it 7 days or less than 7 days, which is the goal, from when I opened it? And like, I think 11 days was what the last folder was at. And it's like, yes, I could save a day, but I mean, it doesn't change my actual work output. If I wanted to be an idiot about it, I could just put so many files in there, be like, oh, yep, I'm done, and then move on to the next one. Or I could just change the date of the first date of the folder, saying, you know, I was supposed to start this today, as opposed to I'm so many months behind. I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense. But basically, I'm supposed to accomplish so much in 7 days, and I had the option of starting it today or starting it tomorrow. If I started today, it means, you know, you lose a certain amount of time, but it doesn't actually change the amount of workload. So, you know, you're still just as much behind as you were. And I thought, you know, I could try to make this look good to myself. I mean, I have no one's checking up on me. There's no boss that says, hey, you're not making your quota, Richard. The only boss I have is myself. So the only person I have to feel bad about this is me. I am the only one that holds me accountable. So I would just be lying to myself if I closed the folder on the wrong day. You know, and that was that thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, this video will eventually be a file in one of those folders. Maybe not the folder I opened. So, you know, this video is a unit, and you just work past the next unit and work past the next unit, and you keep doing that. And this is what you do. But if I lied to myself and said, you know, let me change the date I started this, who am I fooling? I'm fooling me. Why would I fool me? I'm trying to be accurate here. I'm not trying to impress anybody else. I'm not trying to change the world here. I'm just trying to keep track of how much work I'm putting out, because putting out that level of work is important. And I mean, you know, look, if all of my YouTube channels were producing, I would be producing probably one regular video every day and 3 shorts. So 4 videos a day, basically. So my quota at this point is actually much lower than it should be. And, you know, it's like at a certain point, the quota per the week actually rises. So not only am I behind, I'm getting way behind. I need to step it up. But the injury is what really screwed me up. I was making ground beforehand, but now I'm not, because I was in a lot of pain. But again, I can say, yes, I was in pain. I didn't meet my quota. I set my quota, though, so it only matters to me. And, you know, I just have to be honest with myself and say, all right, dude, get back on the horse, get back in the saddle, get out there, and go back and do the work. Because no matter how I play with the numbers, the work will not get done unless I do it. There's no one but me to do this work. I don't know. It's one of those things. You always got to be honest with yourself. You can lie to yourself, but when you do, you know you're doing it. And if there's one thing I've seen do more damage than anything else, it's lying. You know, I tell you, more than 10 years ago, but probably one of the most important points in my life, I was working at a place where people were lying about their hours. And they were all, you know, putting down hours they didn't work. We had a paper clock back then. And putting down those hours they didn't work, you know, everybody was lying about it. The company was actually paying them less, trying to hide the fact that, you know, they were billing the client for hours that weren't worked. when they were actually paying, there was one guard, they were paying him 2 hours a night. He was working 4.5 hours a night, and he was putting down 8. But the thing is, he had 2 jobs, so he didn't notice right away. And the longer he didn't notice, they would do that. They would just, not give you the hours and hope you didn't notice. And if you didn't notice, they made money off of it. A lot of bosses will do that. But the amount of lying that went on, it's like eventually lies come back to haunt you. So needless to say, I opened that file today, or yesterday now. I believe I have past midnight. Because there's no reason for me to lie to myself and say that I didn't. The day you finish one is the day you start the next one. That's how the world works. Anyway, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Roar! Danger Ducky says if you don't comment, like, and subscribe, it'd be unbearable!